You're not living in a solid world. You're living in a field of possibility, and learning to work with it changes everything. Today, we're talking about what the quantum actually is. This is going to be in a way that makes sense and applies to your mindset and your life and your confidence and your reality. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another video. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we talk about bettering ourselves from the inside out. So if bettering yourself is something you're into, then hit the subscribe button so you never miss a video with me. So what is the quantum? The quantum is an invisible field of energy and information underneath physical reality. Everything starts in the quantum before it becomes physical. And if you look at science, they call this the quantum field, the 0-point field, a field of probabilities. But if you look at spirituality, they also have terms like the universe, source, the field, infinite intelligence. Different words, different ways to describe it, but it's the same thing. The quantum is the layer of reality before things have form. Before something is an actual thing, it's a pattern, it's information, it's energy. So the quantum is a place where reality is undecided. And it's not a place in space, it's a state of existence. And maybe even a couple more examples. It's the sheet of music before the music is actually played. Before you have a thought that you speak out loud, it's first an intention. The quantum is the pre-physical version of reality. So let's break it down a little bit more. The quantum is the probability space of all possible outcomes. Instead of one fixed future, one fixed thing that's going to happen for you, there are many potential futures. And the quantum acts like a menu for all of those futures. And you're going to be the one that decides this. And it's going to be decided and determined based off your choices, your attention, your emotions, and your identity. The quantum is the layer of communication between you and the universe. It's how everything talks to everything else. So at the quantum level, particles will influence each other instantly. Distance doesn't behave the way we expect. Everything is subtly interconnected. The quantum is like a bridge between consciousness and matter. It's the meeting point between mind, emotion, energy, and physical reality. Your consciousness interacts with the quantum, and the quantum field organizes matter accordingly. The quantum is reality in its most fluid form. Everything that happens physically has a quantum level cause first. So, for example, wind is invisible, but it moves trees, right? Thoughts are invisible, but they move your behavior. Energy is invisible, but it moves matter. The quantum is the unseen layer that causes the seen. So this is a realm where possibility exists before choices. And your identity can be updated before circumstances change. So the quantum is where potential lives, okay? Every version of you, every timeline, everything exists there first. Your job is not to force it into existence, but instead to become that version of you that naturally aligns with it. So let's take a look and see, how does reality actually form? And as we had said before, in some way, everything is energy. And energy exists as waves of possibility. Observation collapses waves into particles. So what this means is reality doesn't respond to you. Reality responds through you. Your brain, your nervous system, your beliefs, your identity. All of these things tell the quantum field what reality to collapse. So what this means is that your reality is going to form through focus, right? What you pay attention to grows. And your brain has a filtering system that I've done a whole video on this before. It's your reticular activating system. And it decides what information becomes important to enter your awareness. We are constantly surrounded by so many things, even in your home, if you actually paid attention to every single bit of detail, right? But we don't. You only notice what your brain is trained to look for. So your focus shapes your perception. Your perception shapes your interpretation, and your interpretation shapes your experience. So your focus doesn't change the world directly. It changes the version of the world that you experience. And like I said in my video, this is the example of the red car theory. If you tell yourself, wow, there's so many red cars on the road today, you're going to train your brain that moment to see all those red cars. The thing is that those cars were always there. It wasn't as if the universe was like, boom, red cars. It was already there, but your filter changed. So, to recap that point, your attention collapses possibility into experience. Reality forms through emotional conditioning. This is your nervous system deciding what's safe and what's available. Your nervous system's main job is not happiness, it's survival. So it's constantly scanning the environment and wanting to know, are we safe? Is this familiar? Does this match who I am? So even if something is good and good for you, if your nervous system sees it as bad or threatening or unfamiliar, it's going to resist it. So you're not going to experience what you want to experience. You're not going to get that change in your life and become someone new if your nervous system is trying to feel safe. The main idea here is that your emotional baseline becomes your reality. This is who you believe you are. This is your identity. So your brain is constantly thinking, it's constantly scanning things and asking, how does someone like me get treated? What does someone like me experience? What does someone like me deserve? And that is going to guide your choices, your behavior, your boundaries, reaction, and anything that you might say yes or no to, whether it's a positive or a negative. And all of those choices are going to create your life. So, for example, if you always tell yourself, I am so behind, you're going to unconsciously choose things that keep you behind. If your identity becomes something like, I am a woman who leads, your behavior is going to shift and your reality will follow. To recap this idea, reality forms through three major things: what you focus on, what feels emotionally safe, and who you believe you are. This matters for you in understanding what the quantum is, because now we know your thoughts aren't just thoughts. They are electrical signals, and your emotions are chemical signals. And together, they're going to create an energetic signal that interacts with the quantum field. So your emotional state is literally broadcasting what you're going to welcome into your life and into your reality from the quantum. So if you think about this, being calm and being confident is going to create a whole new environment than somebody who is in fear or lack. Identity matters over everything. So let's think about why identity matters. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you are. Your identity is your strongest signal. So if your identity is, I'm behind, I'm not enough, the field is going to respond with experiences that match that. So in closing this idea of guiding you through the knowledge of what the quantum is, what the quantum field actually is, we know it's not magic. I mean, it's a little magic, but it's the science of how energy becomes matter and how the consciousness interacts with reality. And once you understand that, you stop chasing outcome and you start to become this version of yourself that naturally gets everything that you want. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how to get exactly what you want and how to use the quantum field intentionally to shift your reality. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you got some information on what the quantum field is and how it affects our life. I have done so much research on this and so much gathering of information that I can to make it simple and understandable. You hear a lot about the quantum field, but sometimes it feels a little bit like I get it, but I don't get it. So I hope this video helped in getting a little bit more detailed on what the quantum field actually is. And I hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to get your copy of my book. It's called Full of Yourself, A Guide to Becoming Your Most Audacious Self. And I'll put my Instagram right here on the screen if you have any questions about the video, or you wanted to inquire about hypnosis, or you just want to say hi. And as a little bit of homework, let's start to look at the way we are living, the way we are creating our reality. What are your beliefs? What are your intentions that you start your day with? This is something really important. And starting off the new year, we can look at our beliefs, we can look at how we are showing up in the world, and we can fix it, we can change it, and we can create a reality that's so amazing and so beautiful and everything we want. Just by learning these little bit of things and understanding that you can do it. So don't forget to tune in next week, because we're going to be talking a little bit more about the quantum and how to use it to shift your reality into the best one that you can. So again, thank you so much for watching my video. And until next time, love yourself boldly and live audaciously. Bye.